Reagan Kingston unloaded his college bags from the Uber taxi that transported his weary, beat-up body from the airport. He was exhausted. The impromptu visit home tired him. It hadn't been scheduled into his busy life. Returning to Tucker Hill wasn't originally a part of his plan, but he had to see her. The engineering student had considered remaining on the university campus after finals, but then he thought about the anniversary death of his next-door neighbor, Mr. Dubois. The hellish tragedy had occurred a long time ago, but he still remembered it. He'd only been 19 at the time and assumed that disasters happened to strangers. He hadn't experienced a personal loss such as this before. People didn't simply leave home in the morning and never return. They didn't just die. Reagan was still amazed by the freak accident all these years later. No amount of lawsuits against the city could resurrect the dead. Highway bridges weren't supposed to collapse, not during the height of a rush hour, and not when so many lives were at stake. But the Mercury Bridge did. It fell from the sky like a violent, thunderous hailstorm. It gave no forewarning. It showed no mercy. The toppling metal and concrete structure hit the ground below and shot out plumes of ashy white smoke that accompanied the rumbling, tumbling sounds of a locomotive disaster. There was nothing anyone could do but retrieve the broken, mangled bodies. Reagan suddenly became restless with worry while attempting to celebrate his upcoming graduation. He'd soon be receiving his master's degree in civil engineering, but bar-hopping with his upper classmates suddenly lost its appeal. He could not seem to concentrate on anyone but Maëlys Dubois. That's when he decided to come home. There was no other place he needed to be right now. Reagan pictured the last time he'd seen her. It was at the burial grounds of her late husband. She had been drunk as hell and stumbling from tombstone to tombstone, calling out the name of her spouse. Reagan remembered following her around the cemetery and trying to comfort her. He also recalled with lust and shame that Mrs. Dubois had blatantly kissed him in front of several mourners. The shock of her actions catapulted Reagan into a deeper world of sexual fantasies. He had always dreamed of making love to the beautiful Frenchwoman, but never thought it possible. As a teenager, he'd discovered that she enjoyed topless sunbathing on the roof of her house. She did so at least once a week, and Reagan suddenly learned the art of tree climbing. He also acquired a special taste for binoculars and other visual aids that helped him to spy on the gorgeous, dark-haired temptress. Reagan tried to shake the lustful thoughts from his head as he motioned goodbye to the Uber driver, but he couldn't. He quickly abandoned his luggage and was soon heading for his favorite spying tree. He knew Mrs. Dubois wouldn't be on the roof sunbathing. It was too dark, and the summer weather was long gone. But he liked the familiarity of the wooden limbs surrounding him and the smell of evergreen leaves. Reagan found a sturdy, comfortable branch to sit on and reached for the pack of cigarettes in his shirt pocket. He slowly withdrew one and lit up as he settled in for the night.